concerned.
Yes, obviously in recent years we have seen the modernization of Russian military. Do you think Russia poses a threat to Finland or to Estonia?
Well, we just published a recent report, is that we don't think it will do anything, but you never know, is the conclusion, basically. It's publicly available. It's our foreign intelligence agencies published an assessment of threats, and so we don't think so, but as I said, you never know. So in terms of, I think right now if we look at military flights in the Baltic Sea by the Russian Air Force without transponders, which means that civil aviation can't see them, I think is a serious threat to life in people flying, because you can't see them, you don't know they're there, and you could end up having a horrible tragedy over the Baltic Sea.
And there have been some near misses as well.
And there have been a number of near misses, and the response from the Russian side has been, to my mind, completely inadequate.
Obviously, Russia has significantly increased the military capacity in the Baltic Sea. Why is it doing so?
I don't know. I'll interview the Russian president.
What is your opinion?
I have no idea why. What is the need for it? It's for show. I don't know. We have just the other day, the Russian military threatened a passenger liner coming from Lithuania. It's like, why? Why would you do that? It just doesn't make sense.
But should we worry about this situation, about Russians' presence in the area?
Well, as I mentioned, when it comes to things like transponders flights, yes. When we see threats to civilian maritime activity, yes. When I listen to rhetoric, sort of threatening Sweden with nuclear weapons, all of this sounds. Well, it's so bizarre. It's just after. We had 25 years of peace since the Cold War, and actually it was already before that. We're back to somewhere in the 1970s.
Are we seeing the resurgence of the Cold War?
Well, yeah, that's hard to say, because the Cold War actually was a Cold War, meaning people are not being killed, but we have a hot war in Ukraine, and every day people are being killed in Europe through military actions of Russian-supported separatists or the Russian military itself. So, we're not in a Cold War, we have a hot war.
We in Finland, we obviously live outside the NATO umbrella. What do you think our situation is?
Well, the UN Charter says every country can choose its own military alliances, and so I don't really tell anyone anything about what they should do. What I would say is that, various people have told me from Finland, that if the situation gets serious, then we will join NATO. And I would say to them, well, if the situation is that serious, there will be too many people saying, no, that would be too provocative an act. Let's not do that. I think, thinking again to my own country, if in this environment Estonia was not a member of NATO and applied, no matter how good we are, no matter how well our military function, even if we do our 2% of GDP, no problems anywhere, I can guarantee there will be countries that say it's too provocative, this is not the time, we should wait, we don't want to really sort of scare the Russians. So, that's the situation that when people say, no, now's not the time, we'll wait if it gets really serious. It's not automatic. You don't just step in. So
Finland couldn't just go and join?
It could come, if we're living in kind of, the peace, love, Woodstock of 2003, Yeah, it would have been a rapid process. Now, I think you would have a lot of problems. I mean, this treaty has to be ratified by every parliament in all NATO member countries. I can imagine a number of countries would say, well, you know, it's not really, it's the wrong time to enlarge.